How was that allowed? So I've got a question for you. You know, I always like to ask you the question, but it's usually at the end, but we'll get there, okay? Because last night, Friday the 14th of August, we were all sent an emergency alert. I was in this car. It was from the UK government. It scared the life out of me. It wasn't a little weather warning. It wasn't buried in a website somewhere. It was an emergency alert sent straight to our phones. I jumped out my skin. Bah, bah, bah. And what did it say? There was a very, very high risk of wildfires nationally. That's what it said. And people were specifically told not to do anything at all that could start a fire, including, guess what? Fireworks. Now, at the very same time, there were celebrations for Pakistani Independence Day taking place in London. Now, I've seen the footage which I've put up here for you, and it appears to show that fireworks being set off in London during those celebrations, allegedly around 1 a.m. Okay. And that's where I start to ask the questions, because normal law is quite clear. I don't know whether you know this, but in England, fireworks generally cannot be set off between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. There are exceptions, okay, like of New Year, Diwali, Chinese New Year, bonfire night, them type of things. But on Pakistani Independence Day isn't one of those standard exceptions. What's even more interesting is that Redbridge Council had specifically said fireworks were not to be brought to be set off in Ilford Lane during the celebrations. They were told no fireworks. So my question isn't about why were people celebrating Pakistani Independence Day. You can celebrate whatever you want. I'm not bothered. My question is much simpler than that. If fireworks were being set off at 1 a.m. in the morning during the night when the government had literally warned the entire country that the risk of wildfires, how was that allowed to happen? Because ordinary people were told, don't have a barbecue, don't have a fire pit, and don't set off fireworks, and rightly so. Because we've got an incredibly dry conditions at the minute, aren't we? And firefighters are already dealing with wildfires. Okay, we get it. So if somebody ignored that warning and started firing fireworks up into the sky at 1 o'clock in the bloody morning, why weren't they stopped? Was the police called? Were any arrests made? Were there any fines issued? Or was everyone just told, oh, well, they're celebrating. Let them get on with it, they're celebrating. That doesn't matter. Because if the rules apply, they need to be applied consistently, don't they? I'm not interested in what flag somebody's waving. I'm interested in whether the law was followed, because you can't send millions and millions of people an emergency alarm. Bah, bah, don't do this, don't do that, it could start a wildfire. And then apparently just turn the blind eye when fireworks are being set off. You can't do it, can you? So I'm asking the question, as I always do, is that bloody fair? Is it fair? Just leave your comments below. I'm going in now. I'm going to have fish and chips I'm having for my tea. I might do another little video tonight. I'll see what's been going on this beautiful little island that we live on. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all later.